This is going to get called, I'm pretty certain, and Yursaov's going to need some help.
Time extension being used there.
That was the carry cat.
All right, YouTube, we have an investigation on our hands today, as this, is it an angle or is it not an angle from yesterday's $50,000 World Series of Poker final table? 4 players left, $1.4 million up top. It's taken the poker world by storm. The whole entire community is talking about it. First, we're going to run through the hand. We'll take a deeper look at what exactly went down, and then I'll show you what the community is saying out there. As certain people in the community, like Ike Haxton and Justin Bonomo, have given their opinions. I'm going to say what the community is saying for after we show the video, so that way you haven't seen this, you can make your own decision, make your own judgment from the video at hand. Before we get into the breakdown, I want to let you know I'm going to have Sam Soverel on my podcast this Saturday night, special evening podcast edition, 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to have Andrew Lichtenberger, who's at the table right now, on my podcast Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And I want to say, I've read a lot of people's opinions out there on the internet, and I almost can't believe the opinions I'm reading, because these people act like they're professional body language experts that should know how someone should react in a situation like this. And most of you guys have no clue what you're talking about. I'm glad you guys aren't on my potential jury, because it's terrifying that people out there would have such a strong stance opinion based off of a 30-second video of a man reacting in a situation like this. Also, this video is a little bit long with the reactions from the community at the end, but this is a very serious situation in that people are saying this was a definite angle, and I think if you're going to accuse somebody of cheating at a live stream final table, you need to handle it with care and really take a look and take a deeper dive and decide if that person was actually cheating or not, and if the evidence in the video supports that theory. So let's roll it. All right, so let's take a look at this hand. We're going to run the hand through a few times and take a much deeper look at it. So Sam Soverel opens min raise here. Soverel plays a lot on Poker Go, a lot on Poker After Dark. Very regular, high-stakes player, cash game player, PLO player, no-limit player in the poker world. Yursaov shoves the button here with the ace-10 and diamonds. They both have about 25 big blinds. Ben Heath covers them with about 50 big blinds. Yursaov is Yursaov 1990 on Poker Stars. I believe he's a Supernova Elite, not 100% positive on that. And plays some high-stakes cash. Been a long-time grinder on Poker Stars. And then Ben Heath from the UK has the ace-queen of hearts here, deciding what to do if he's going to call or not. He covers both players right now. He asks Sam, how much does he have? And right here, throws that time chip in. And then Sam folds, thinking that was actually Ben's cards. He makes a shocked expression on his face.
Did he not throw something forward?
He threw it's understandable, but yeah, I mean, it was the time.
Yeah, but this is kind of an outrageous spot to do it. I mean,
he says, did he not throw something forward? Lucky Chewy stands up, says, it's understandable. I can understand why you would have saw that. And Sam acknowledges this is an outrageous spot to do it. Him and Yursaov are both even in chips. Let's run this back one more time, guys.
Appears very agitated.
Yursaov, very tilted, stands up, starts yelling in Russian to his rail.
Call, does it not, Scott? Knowing what's going on with Soverel.
Of course it does, yeah. And, man, a very, very delicate situation. I mean,
and one that could potentially land Soverel a penalty here.
Sam once again saying that he thinks that when the time chip was thrown forward is actually the cards. Let's run this back one more time here from the beginning. All right, so here we have Ben thinking about his decision. Looks at Yursaov, looks at Sam trying to get the read. Looks at Yursaov again. We're going to break this whole entire thing down here a little closer. Looks at Sam once again trying to get a read. Asks him how much he has. Sam starts counting out his chips. Knocks off one of the chips. Tells him how much he has.
Yursov's gonna need some help.
So right here, right? So we pause it right here. And now he's got his cards right back here. He's got the chime chip right next to it. We have Sam looking down at his chips, doing a little weird count of his chips. Not sure what exactly is going on with the chips here counting, but he's counting the chips here. And then Ben's going to slide this time extension chip in here. So he fires the chip in there, goes to the dealer. Looks like the dealer's going to collect it. Sam still counting his chips. Can't really see what he's looking at, if he's looking at Ben, looking at what exactly he's doing here with his eyes. So you can see right there, Sam kind of looks forward with his eyes. Not sure what he sees. Okay, maybe his impression is that, okay, he folded right there. He saw something going there. He wasn't looking. Now, in his situation, he's already made up his mind with the Jack-9 suited. He knows that he's not going to call here. He knows it's going to fold. He's not going to waste any time. He thinks Ben just tanked and folded. So he throws the chips in. And then he has the shocked expression right away once he looks up there. And he said it's a Kerry Katz move. I'm not actually sure what that is in reference to. Kerry Katz is the owner and founder of PokerGo, Poker Central. So Sam has the expression on his face. He's surprised. We're going to super slow-mo it down here. Last 5 seconds. So Sam looking down. Ben looks over at something, which could be cards. Slides in the time chip. Sam, right here, looks like he take a glance over at Ben. Looks over at the dealer, the time chip. Looks down at his hand again. Folds the hand. Looks over, has a surprise reaction. Very surprised. Did I do that? The Urkel expression. All right, we'll look at it one more time here, guys. And by one more time, I mean a few more times. So now, if we're to believe that this is an angle right, we have to imagine that Sam was he planning this angle from the go? Okay, so right now, on a live stream, he knows this is live stream, very smart guy. Everyone's going to watch this. Is he planning the angle right now? 15 seconds in. There's 15 seconds left before he has to throw the time extension chip in there. So is his plan, if this was to be an angle, that, okay, I'm going to wait till this guy throws the time extension chip in, and then I'm going to pretend I folded? Or did the time extension chip go in, and he's like, oh, this is a great moment to kind of accidentally fold my hand, which obviously is possible, but on the live stream, you know, that's pretty outlandish thing to do. So right here, Ben looks down, fires, rockets the time extension chip in there. Dealer collects it. So Sam says that the dealer was looking at him after this moment happened. So now you can see Ben. So in a way, though, this is what someone else pointed up on Twitter. It's actually something I noticed right away. So Ben puts the time extension chip in and immediately looks to Sam. Takes a Yursaov and looks at Sam, trying to get another read on him, which he's been doing throughout the hand. He looks down at his cards. His cards are also hidden. If you look here, they're hidden behind his chips, and they're hidden behind another stack of chips right in front. And also, from this angle right here, you can see that, well, you doesn't really look like Sam has cards. Also, when you play at these tables, they are a little bit weirder as well, too. They're not like a normal poker table with the lifted raised on the side. So it does seem understandable that he would have thought, okay, I just saw him fold something. It looked like the cards. I can't see it. I don't see cards in his hand. Now, some people might say, well, wouldn't you take a moment to make sure that he did actually fold in this spot too, which I can understand as well. But in Sam's mind, he's already made up his decision that I am going to fold the hand. So now he's got a snap full. And now other people, and this is where people seem to have an issue, is we got a lot of professional actors out there, I guess, who seem to think at this point in time from the hand, with how fast Sam reacted in the shocked expression, in the manner that he had the shocked expression, that this was all an act. And, you guys be the judge here. So he throws the cards in, 32 seconds, 32.1 seconds on the time clock. Looks at Ben's hands, 0.5 seconds later. So in less than 1 second from him mucking the cards to him looking over at Ben, seeing that Ben has the hand, has the shocked expression on his face. So 1 second reaction time. I mean, some people say that's not possible. You'd have to at least look over and register first and then have some sort of surprise on your hand. People said, oh, wouldn't be this surprised. I'm not sure. Never really been in this spot myself. I don't know how people are going to react here. Sam obviously very aware of how big of a moment this is and how big of implication this possibly has here. If he can ladder up here, if Yursaov's knocked out. Now Ben, I like Ben's composure. Ben looks at Sam, doesn't really break it, so he keeps looking at Sam and Yursaov, trying to pick up a read on Yursaov, because in moments like this, if Sam folds out a turn and Yursaov starts having a reaction, then he's going to give away potentially strength of his hand. So Yursaov does keep still. Ben trying to figure out what's happening here. He's trying to get the read still on him. He looks over at him, looks more concerned. Still trying to get a read on Yursaov.
Did you not throw something forward?
He threw it's understandable, but yeah, I mean, it was the time.
Yeah, but this is kind of an outrageous spot to do it.
Well, here's what happened. Ben Heath was actually exercising a time extension. Sam Soverel saw him throw it in there, thought that Heath was folding his hand, and folded and turned,
and I just thought it was on me.
As a result, Yursaov appears very agitated.
All right, one more time here from 21 seconds. Ben really does look like he's kind of contemplating folding there. He throws in those chips, that time chip. I mean, to me, I see where he's coming from with this situation. Throws that in there. Does look like he folds to me. The whole entire expression afterwards, I'm not a professional actor. I don't know how people are going to act. I don't know. I've never seen Sam in this situation. So other people are going to have more experience with Sam than I am. Chewy's at the table. To him, it makes sense. Chewy, very smart man, person I enjoy talking with very much. He's at the table when this happens. Yursaov looks like he's ready to send the Russian hitman against Sam right now when he walks up from the table. I mean, come on. What do you guys think out there? We're going to show some comments out there. I got to say, the community, I've never seen this in my entire life. Poker community split about 50-50 right down the middle here. So I've watched this 500 times, okay? Can we really conclude that 100% this was out of line? No, of course not. We can't, right? We have this tape, right? We can run back the tape a few times. Like I said, people out there are convinced this is an angle. A lot of people out there are convinced this was an honest mistake. This was no chance this was an angle. When I watch this back, I can understand where Sam is coming from. And to be as brazen to say, okay, I'm going to pull this off here at this moment that I know is going to be heavily scrutinized by the entire poker community, seems insane to do. With that said, obviously not out of the realm of possibility. Sam did reach out to me, and he said some pretty similar things that he might have said in the interview. We're going to roll the interview, but he messaged me, said it was a genuine mistake. I do agree they should have been given a penalty. Ben got me with the eye roll, sigh, collapse, rocket in the time card into the muck so hard it exploded. So maybe we might get a podcast with Sam. We talked about doing a podcast in the past. This might be a good moment for it. But yeah, no penalty was given. So let's run through Sam's interview real quick here.
Sure, and we saw the look in your eyes of horror when you accidentally folded out of turn. Can you take us through that spot?
Yeah, Ben asked me to count my chips, so I looked down at my chips, and then I feel like he kind of sighed, all right, I guess and then he just threw something forward, and I had a snap fold, so I was like, no, next hand. And it's a really disgusting spot to do it because it encourages a call, and it works in my favor, and I think it's really bad. Like, honestly, I think I should have got a penalty, even though it was completely unintentional, just because it's so bad. But I do think that's a spot where
Ben calls?
Yeah, Ben was never folding, so it was kind of wasting time.
All right, so you can see in the interview, he says that, he thinks he should have got a penalty. I didn't see a floor man during the hand, but a floor man did walk over, asked the table what happened.
Of whether or not Soverel had folded behind
He
him.
asked
Granted,
me
it's
to count my chips,
an inescapable
and I counted
nudge.
my chips,
And here we
and
go.
then I just see this.
Yep.
And the dealer looks at me, and I just snap folded because I had nothing. I mean, it's a really terrible spot to do it, but I mean, I was literally looking down my chips, and I just see.
For what it's worth, my impression is that it was an honest mistake. Yeah. Well,
Make sure we're paying attention to the other students when it is on camera. So we gotta keep everything together.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
He saw something out of the corner of his eye.
I think it's an outrageous spot to do it. Like,
Yeah. I mean, especially after yesterday.
I love it.
yeah, no, I'd be ready to carry for like 25 minutes. But Carey definitely should have. I don't know. I guess I should also get. I think that should be a penalty. I just had like a turbo fold, but nothing to think about. And
Yeah, of course.
I thought it was just on me. I thought he even made like a sigh, like a. I thought he was kind of like, all right, and then you threw the card for it.
Chewy said, it seemed like a reasonable mistake. So no penalty was given during the situation. I put on Twitter, like, where was the floor man during the hand? Because we're used to seeing the floor man during the hand. But maybe there's new rules this year where the floor man's not going to be on the camera. Now I went back and I studied the tape of Ben folding, of Sam folding, Ben putting in the time chip, trying to pick up some anomalies in their patterns. And I was not able to pick up anything because I think Ben throws the time chip in similar fashion and Sam folds in a similar fashion in other instances as well too. But from the evidence that we have right here going off the video, to me, inconclusive. Obviously this could be an angle and Sam could be some master at this, but at the same time, this is a man who regularly plays the highest stakes cash games that are running in Las Vegas. So while this is a pretty large margin of money, this man is not unused to the situation at hand to play for this amount of money. And I have not heard any concrete examples of him doing an angle in any similar fashion in the past. I've just heard some sort of speculation, which we'll get to soon, about what his habits are, how he might be as a player. So to say that this man who has no history of specific examples is going to pull off an angle on the final table when the pay jumps are pretty big, but at the same time, regular stakes for him, I think is just a little too much to conclude from what we see here. So now let's go through some comments made by Ike Hollywood Haxton about this specific situation. All right, so Hollywood Haxton initially tweeted up, if this is reported accurately, anything less than disqualification and fourth place money for Sam is insufficient. You absolutely can't let people get away with shit like this at the final table of a $50,000 World Series of Poker. And then he also said in reply to me, he said, you can watch the clip at 0.25 speed on YouTube. Watch the succession of places that Sam's eyes go before he mucks. Watch the time bank card get collected by the dealer and moved across the felt. And watch Sam's body language in the 2 seconds after he releases his cards. I mean, my big takeaway from this situation is maybe, and I don't know if this has been an issue with the time chip cards, but maybe we have a new system where instead of having the time chip card and having to put it out there at the 32nd, maybe it's something that is a different sort of card. Maybe it's a cube, maybe it's a square, maybe it's something like that, or maybe you have to actually verbalize that you want the time extension as well too. Some people might have an issue with that because they don't want to give anything away in their decision. But maybe the takeaway here is that, okay, instead of having these time chip cards, if you guys ever play with time chips in some tournaments, you only have 30 seconds to act or something like that with the shot clock. So if you want to have your time extended, you just throw in a time chip. We've seen this on Live at the Bike, and I'm surprised this hasn't happened before on a stream where someone does think that, oh, this person folded. But kind of two takeaways from that is that, well, one, if it's never happened before, kind of weird it might have happened now. Or two, this was bound to happen, or this has happened before, we just wouldn't know it. So maybe we got to think about redesigning how exactly we use this time extension, because if this is something where people can angle in the future, then we should probably try to prevent that from happening. And especially after people see this, you know, some of the nefarious types out there might look at that and say, well, I can do that the next time I play. I'll just look down at my cards and then I'll pretend he throws a time chip in. I'll pretend he folded. I'll fold. Something like that is possible. But these kind of moments don't come up very often. but it is at least worth thinking about. So Joe Chong commented back, I didn't know you were a body language expert, Ike. Still remember when that one poker live tells guy contacted me before my main event and offered to coach me in live tells for $100K plus 10%. Should have taken him up on it. So Joe Chong's referring to when he made the World Series Poker main event final table. You always have these coaches that get in touch with you and say, hey, can I coach you for a price? And Joe didn't have coaching from him. Now he's thinking maybe I should have taken it up here. Lauren Klein posted this of the incentives here. So you can kind of see in terms of when the shove gets through, what the ICM value is. When Ben Heath wins the flip and Yursaov's eliminated, what the ICM value is. When Yursaov wins the flip, what the ICM value is. And then down here, difference in average ICM value when a flop occurs versus not occurring. You can see that Sam in this situation is the biggest benefactor. Yursaov, clearly the biggest loser in this situation. There's some people out there saying, well, Ben's not going to fold anyway, so what does it matter? I think the general situation does matter in terms of what should happen and what should take place and what should potentially happen in spots moving forward, and drawing awareness to this spot to remind players that you don't want to be folding at a turn in a very important spot like this where someone's potentially impacted $75,000 in EV. You know, you want the integrity of the game is that you wait until everyone acts before you. And obviously things like this happen all the time. When I play live cash, I always see things like this happen. And there's really not a big stink or a big fuss made about it. Someone says, hey, you should wait. And obviously once the stakes get elevated and you're at a final table in an important moments like this, you'd think that, okay, you should pay more attention to make 100% sure this doesn't go down. But this kind of thing happens all the time in poker. So in terms of being disqualified, like Hollywood Haxton says, that seems like quite a stretch to say that a player should be disqualified, his chips taken out of the tournament. He should be given fourth place for this happening. A penalty certainly should happen in a spot like this. As Sam acknowledged numerous times, he should have been given a penalty. But the floor man ultimately decided, after talking with them, the penalty would not be given. Other comments made here by Ike Hollywood Haxton. He said, yeah, I just watched it. I'm 99% certain it was intentional. It's a respectable acting performance, but he notices his mistake too quickly, and all of his movements from the moment the time bank card hits the felt are unnatural and overreacted. Matt Savage, tournament director extraordinaire, says, the way you are so insistent seems like this kind of thing has happened before. No way someone gets disqualified for a mistake, but it does seem like a careless and maybe convenient error. How can you DQ the high roller player of the year? Ike said, I've never seen anything this egregious before, but yeah, he certainly has a reputation for getting lost on his way to a new table if he's about to be big blind, mucking losers in mandatory showdown all-in spots, demanding new setups as a stalling tactic, etc. Obviously, Hollywood Haxton has a lot of experience playing with Sam Soverel, so he has a much better understanding and a much better feel for Sam and much more experience that he's basing these opinions off of than myself and 99.9% of other people out there who are making judgments on this situation. Ike did clarify, he said that never seen something this egregious from Sam specifically, not in poker in general. Also, in reply to Alan Cunningham, he said, even if the opener needs ace, king, queen, queen to call, he has that maybe 8 to 10% of the time. Given that Ben just used a time extension, he could be trying to balance timing and induce overcall with ace, ace, king, king. But very often he's going to have a close decision. I think this changes his action greater than 15% of the time. Ike also said, yes, I think it was clearly intentional. Although if it was an accident, I still think multiple round penalty is appropriate. And then Haralabab Vulgaris chimed in and said, I'll say this without watching it. If anyone is going to do something like this intentionally, my money would be on Sam. Dan Smith quoted the interview and said, looks like a really bad acting job. I know Dan Smith has experience playing with Sam as well, too. Justin Bonomo quoted this tweet from Ike and said, you can make up your own mind on Sam, but just know he has a history of pulling the shit. He will just straight up flip over someone's hand from the muck and then laugh about it. I've seen him do this 5+ times. This is his rep. He also posted a screenshot from a group chat here. He said the above tweet from Mike is only a partial list of a very long history of pulling angles. They're admittedly mostly small ones, but he's never shown any remorse. He always just cackles. He enjoys this stuff and doesn't give a fuck. And then posted a screenshot of a chat here. And after Justin posted this group chat where Sam said it was a Carrie Katz movie, does it 100% of the time, a bunch of people chimed in and said, this Adam Levy, this reads as sarcasm to me, weak to post the chat log. Doug Polk chimed in, said, super out of line to post this chat log without approval of the group as well. Brian Rash chimed in as well, too. Len Ashby was in the group, too, said, you are wrong to post this pic of the group chat. Everyone here was making a joke, and you were just trying to make Sam look bad. So now you got to remember, you have certain people who are friends with Ike, who are there. They have their own group. I don't think Sam is going to be a part of that group. Sam's part of a different group in the poker world. So you're going to have people on this side who are friends with Sam, stick up for Sam. People on this side who have experiences with Sam who don't like him or have negative things to say. So they're going to be on this other side when a situation like this happens. So you got to remember when you're observing this as an outside party to say, okay, I need to take everything I'm seeing here with a little bit grain of salt and understand that these people have their own biases, these people have their own friendships, and these people have their own relationships and experience to where they're coming from and what they're basing their opinions and the information that they're putting out there from. Steve O'Dyer said, if I was in a chat with 39 regs and had just done something that cost someone tens of thousands of dollars and it was truly an accident, my first reply would never be to joke about it. I would be empathetic that I felt terrible and was ashamed by my carelessness. My boy Dankness said, seems like the only thing Sam is definitely guilty of here is being strongly disliked by you and Ike and posting private chat when it's super unclear whether he's making a joke or not to make him look bad. Come on, man. So like I said, guys, poker community is very drawn down the line on this one. If you read 2+2, if you go on Reddit, if you go on Instagram, if you talk to people around the community, very split one way or the other. I don't think we can conclude anything completely from the information that we had. I think the big takeaways are that in a situation like this, penalty should be given. Also, the big takeaway for anyone watching at home is that this should not take place, especially at a final table. Make sure that people ahead of you do fold before you fold out of turn, especially when there's hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially at place here. We'll talk more with Sam. We'll try to get his opinion about the situation. Maybe we can line up that podcast as well. Very curious about your opinion out there as well, too. Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care.